Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport, just over here in Arizona, and I just stopped for the day. And I've been listening to videos, of course, as I drive. So there's a few things that one of my one of my brothers works for Kroger Foods in Wisconsin, and I was watching JK Bug Out earlier. Or listening, he did a live stream yesterday, I think. And one of his subscribers has said that his son works for some big food place or whatever, and that their warehouse was really empty, I guess. So I reached out to my brother because he works for Kroger Foods and asked him, and said, hey, you guys got any problem with any kind of, no food in the warehouse or whatever? He said, no. He said they're stocked up pretty well. He said, however, they don't have any drivers to haul the stuff around. So he said they got lots of stuff going out. So that's Kroger's. I don't know. Kroger's is a pretty big outfit, so it doesn't look like the food shortage is that bad right now. They're saying that the first week of May is going to be really bad with food shortages and meat shortages. Obviously, the 12 meat processors going down, so on and so on and so on. But that's not what the video is about. So I was listening to Roy Potter yesterday. And he had said that, one of his subscribers had said that, we're 200 million guns that they're not gonna be able to conquer, and he had a really good point. Obviously, everybody knows that subscribed and watches my videos that I'm ex-military. Did my time in a combat unit, but Roy had made a really good point, and I'm right on board with that, and I've said this in other videos. You have to have a plan B, and we have to organize, because if you have 200 million guns, I would almost guarantee that half of those people, so 100 million people, if not more, probably aren't military trained. Maybe hunters or sports shooters or whatever the case is. But they don't know anything about military tactics. So if you're not organized, you could have 1 billion guns and 1 billion people with guns. But if you're all separated and you guys don't have an organized group, good luck. We wouldn't even put a dent in anything. So being that there's 200 million guns, that means nothing. If you guys aren't going to organize, then those 200 million guns might as well just be water guns, because if you're in a home and you have you and, say, 4 or 5 others, and then down the street there's another home with 10, and then there's down the street and around the block there's 2, and then there's 5, but you guys are all separated, what kind of impact are you going to have? You're going to have zero impact. That's why the military has battalions, that's why they have companies, that's why they have platoons, that's why they have squads, that's why they have weapon squads, because that's what the military does. They train tactically. If you have, like I said, excuse me, if you have 200 million guns, that means nothing, zero. So we need to organize. You need to organize, and the only ones that would really put up kind of a decent resistance or put a dent in something is some of these militia groups out here. And I'm not saying go join a militia or anything, or go ahead, but the fact is, if you're not organized, 200 million guns means nothing. It means absolutely zero. And this, people are talking about, oh yeah, they're doing these demonstrations at the Capitol buildings and all that. That means nothing, man. I mean, that means nothing. I'll start organizing. You guys want to start emailing me? Time Machine Transport, TIME, Time Machine Transport, the number 1, at gmail.com. My phone number is 414-477-7845. If you want to start organizing, I'll start organizing. I'm around the country. I can help out wherever I can. The fact is, I mean, a well-organized squad, say for instance, a squad is typically about 12 guys, or females, whatever, but typically women aren't in combat units. I don't mean to be a sexist. So you have 12 individuals, and you could do hit and run missions, and you could do little assaults, and you can do ambushes, and you can, whatever the case is, you can make an impact even if you have small arm fire. I mean, you don't have, M60s or anything like that, but if you have AR, shotguns, deer hunting rifles, excuse me, whatever, booby traps, whatever the case is, you can make an impact. But you have to have a lot of those little hit and run squads. You can't you can't just say, oh, when they come, like I said, if they come for my guns, I'm not giving them up. That's just the fact of the matter. I've already had a conversation with Sarah, my wife, so, and I've also had a conversation with a lot of my other brothers. So, but the fact is, 200 million guns means nothing, zero. And these little demonstrations, and it is something, these demonstrations on the capitals or whatever the case is. But if you know anything about the yellow vests in France, when the President Macron, when he tried raising their fuel taxes, because France is the heaviest tax country in the world, and Macron, however you want to say it, Macron, he tried to raise fuel taxes again, and the people revolted. So they all put on their yellow vests, and they marched. They were going against the police and everything else by the thousands and the hundreds of thousands. That's why they're called the yellow vests. And us Americans, we liberated France during World War II. So we should be the ones that are the yellow vests. We should be the ones that are leading the pack. You guys want to throw on a yellow vest? I mean, how are we going to let a bunch of Frenchmen outdo us? And French women. So if you're not going to have a revolt or be organized like the yellow vests, then we're doomed, man. We are freaking doomed, man. Doomed with a capital D. Doomed. So I don't know. I mean, if use a different color, use orange, use blue, red. I don't give a shit. But be the purple vest. Don't be the purple vest, because that's a sign of evil. They say that that purple, and that's why the new British pound, I think it's 10 pounds or 20 pounds. The new bill they just came out with, the one I said in one of my videos with the little wheel on it and the hologram. The color on there is purple, and purple it's a sign of evil. That's their color, evil. So don't be purple vests. But be a different color vest. I don't give a shit. But the thing is if you're gonna revolt and you're gonna do, I'm along with anybody. If you guys want me to start organizing, I'll be the organizer. But people have to start reaching out, and people have to start standing for it. The lady that just got arrested in Idaho, and at the park and everything. She was trying to make a stand and make a statement. She got arrested. Well, so when I talked to Sarah today, I really think that, everybody feels the same that I do. I'm sure they do, about, the vaccination is a sign of the beast. And if you take the vaccination, you're doomed for eternity. And everybody's saying, but then again, I already did a video on this. But it's so easy. It rolls out of everybody's mouths so easy. Oh, I'm not going to take the vaccination. They're not just going to show up at your door one day and say, hey, I got a vaccination for you. Oh, I'm not going to take it today. Okay, we'll be back next week. No, it's not going to go down like that. It's going to happen soon. And Trump is already... This is another thing. Oh, again, I'm going off. But if... So... My wife cut my hair. My hair was so long. I love it that it's short now. It's manageable. Especially when you're in a truck. So Trump and what's her name? The doctor, not Fauci. I forgot her name. Anyways, she was saying about taking the vaccination, and Trump's right along with it. And I'm a huge Trump supporter. I voted for Trump. But Roy Potter is kind of really opening my eyes to a lot of things as far as he's pointing out things that Trump's not doing. I think Trump is the best president we've ever had, personally. But he's not doing it. The current Donald Trump is not the Trump that I voted for. He said he's going to... Okay, so when I talked to Sarah today, I said, how is it that a woman in Idaho gets arrested for going to a park with some other mothers, trying to make a statement, trying to unite, whatever the case is, and they're making an example out of her. I guess they're threatening her with like 6 months jail time and like a $6,000 fine or $10,000 fine. It's in the thousands. And how is it that and then you got the pastor down in Florida that got arrested for having a church service, and and there's some people in New Jersey got arrested for being in their cars, mind you, for being in their cars. And of course, you're saying, oh, you violated the stay-at-home order, and you're not an essential worker. Okay, whatever. Then the New Jersey wasn't the governor; it was the Secretary of Health or something. So these aren't guidelines; these are rules. Rules is it our First Amendment right to peaceful assembly? It's not a rule. It's a right. It's a constitution. It's a civil right. It's not a rule. So, anyways, how is it that a lady that's married to a police officer, by the way, how is it that this lady gets arrested for a simple violation of a rule, but yet George Soros is still running free? The Clintons are still running free. Obama's still running free. Schiff is still running free. Schumer, Nadler, Pelosi, all these communists that have committed treason against his country. How are they not in jail? But how are all these innocent people getting jailed? But yet Trump's not. Everybody's, I know the QAnon thing right away. I know that comes out, and there's 100,000 sealed indictments. Dude, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. Why he's not going after these governors for going after our constitutional rights, and his DOJ can do that. Because it's a violation of a federal law. It's not a state law, it's a federal law. So how is it? I don't get it. So, just watching all the trucks coming in as they're parking for the evening. So, that's that. Now, they're kind of like Georgia reopened parts of it, but they still have light or they still have soft quarantining or self-isolating. It's still soft. They're just giving us false hope at the end of the day, because they see people starting to uprise, people are starting to get antsy, whatever the case may be. And they're basically just saying, okay, we're gonna kind of put you on ice right now and just say we're gonna open up this area, and then when the governor of Georgia opened up, Trump right away, oh, yeah, it's too soon and this and that. So kudos to the governor of Georgia. I don't know who it is, but so now, so that's that with the guns and all that other stuff. And then, people, watch some channels and people are just not taking this serious, man. Like I said, it rolls out of their mouth so easy, just like, I'm going to have eggs for breakfast. It rolls out of off their tongues that easily. Oh, I won't take the vaccinate. You will take the freaking vaccination. Excuse my French. You will take it. Because, like when Sarah and I talked, they said, I think they're going to start putting out the vaccinations. Wait, they're not, like I said, they're not coming to your door. Oh, you want this vaccination? Oh, we'll be back next week. No, it's not going to happen. They're going to give you an ultimatum. If you're a medical worker and you're working, they're going to just come in, and it's going to be unannounced, I'm sure. And they're going to say, well, everybody's got to get their vaccination today because you're dealing with COVID patients and all this other crap, this smoke screen that they're creating. And then if you don't take it, you can't come back to work. Okay, Sarah's already said, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I won't take it. No way I'm taking it. And it's not rolling off my tongue easy. So that's how they're going to hold this. That's how they're going to put the screws to you. They're going to put your financial, your means of supporting yourself and making a living. So then now you're going to be out of work, and then you won't be able to apply for another job because you don't have the vaccination. Don't you guys see this? It's going to happen, and your job and your financial, and the way that you financially support yourself is going to be at risk. Therefore, you're going to say, well, I need to take this thing because I can't apply anywhere else to go for work. And I'm broke. Then I'm kicked out of my place. I'm losing my house. I'm losing my car. I'm losing everything. Then you're going to go out and you're going to live in the woods, right? That's our plan. But the thing is that's how they're going to do it, man. They're not just going to come out and when, it's not, how do people just not think? This is all just proper planning, man. I mean, if you think about the things that I think about with my I call them windshield reflections, like I say, when I'm running down the road, that's how it's going to happen. They're going to put your job at risk, and without your job, you have nothing. So tell me what is your plan? What is your plan? What is your plan to support yourself when you don't take the vaccination? What's your plan? You don't have one, do you? We have one. I'll guarantee a lot of you don't have one. Think about it, man. It's not brain surgery. It's common sense. And another thing, this whole thing. So we're talking about the re-election or the elections coming up. If you're a Trump supporter, it's a re-election, which I have doubts now. But so if Sarah and I were talking about it today, feels getting very tired. I love this LaCroix stuff. It's pretty good. The peach pear or the pear, whatever. Anyways, it's good. And no calories. But so, excuse me. So we can't. They're going to make it to where we can't assemble for the election. Everybody, people that are watching these channels already have heard this. They've heard. They're going to probably do mail-in ballots. This is all pre-planned, guaranteed. We all know it, right? The ones that don't, well, you should probably know that. But, so, it's pre-planned. I mean, nobody can prove that it's pre-planned, but the evidence is there. So, they go and say, well, nobody can go to the ballot boxes to vote, right? And they're already talking about mail-in ballots. Okay. Now, this is all pre-planned. If you think about it, like I think about it, which is pretty reasonable, and I'm not being biased because it's my thoughts, it just makes sense. So they come and they say nobody can go to the ballots. Everybody's going to do a mail-in ballot. And then they get it, and then they do their own counts and this and that, and we know it's not a democracy. They choose whoever they want for president. It's got to be that way. So when Sarah and I were talking today, talking about how Joe Biden was at the he was so far down in the ratings, and Buttigieg dropped out before Super Tuesday, which was crazy because he probably would have been a front runner. And then Sanders, a lot of people were pointing at Sanders, to be the elected candidate. And then Elizabeth Warren and so on and so on. There were like 4 other people in front of Biden. 4 other people. And everybody knows the guy. I'm not very smart. I had some college. I never graduated. He's a senator, obviously. He was vice president, obviously. So on and so on. So obviously he got somewhere because he's intelligent. And then he became corrupt along the way. And Sarah told me, back in the day, they didn't have parties or whatever during Washington. And, we were talking today, and, the corruption formed these parties, the left and the right. The corruption did it. I don't believe that a politician like Trump goes into office and goes in with the mentality he wants to be corrupt. It just becomes that way. Because they have you by the short hairs, and they're saying, well, you're going to do what we say because of this. And Roy Potter had said, some of his subscribers had said, well, they're threatening him with his life, and he said, well, he wanted the job. Not necessarily he wanted the job. If he felt the need to take the job or run or whatever the case is, or like I said, I don't really think it's a democracy, but he accepted the job. However, excuse me, if somebody threatened me to kill me in a horrible way, yeah, feed me to an alligator or a bunch of, hyenas or something, yeah, I'd probably think twice. I don't know if I'd want to die that way. It's better just to die in your sleep, right? But imagine if they threatened his family to die in a horrible, horrible way. If I were Trump, hypothetically, obviously, and somebody threatened to kill my wife, my children, my brothers, my sister, anybody, and in the most horrific way possible, if you don't do the things that we need you to do, I wouldn't want any of those people to die in a horrific way.
He wouldn't know it, Joe, if he woke up and was looking at him in the mirror.
So, CB, sorry. So, if that is the case, do you blame Trump? Like I said, would any of you guys want your children or your husband or wife or mother and father to be murdered in a horrific way? In the most brutal way you could possibly think. Just close your eyes and think. And then put yourself, if this is the case, in Trump's shoes. I would have to do what they said. I think initially he went into this whole thing, like I said in the previous video, not knowing, thinking I can clear the swamp, I can do this, I can do that. And then he found out he was way in over his head. He found out that these people are probably more powerful than anybody can ever imagine. So, you have Elizabeth Warren, Buttigieg, you have Sanders, and even Kamala Harris was probably better numbered than Biden. But the guy is not. Everybody knows he's got dementia or something. He's lost it. How do all these other people drop out? All these other people just miraculously drop out when they could have beat Biden. But Biden's he's going to be the front runner. He's going to be their elected candidate. Everybody knows that Trump would demolish him in a debate. Demolish him. Everybody knows that Trump would kill him in the numbers. Therefore, you create this smokescreen. You get a mail-in ballot. You crash the economy. You destroy the petrodollar. And if you guys don't know how the petrodollar was created, and I didn't know until obviously I read history, but Saudi Arabia needed America's protection back in the day, 50s, I think, somewhere in there, maybe a bit way before then, and basically came and said, we need your protection. And obviously the U.S., being the most powerful country in the world, kind of debateful now, they said, we'll provide you protection, and you will only sell your oil with American dollars. Anybody who buys your oil and you sell it to, you can only do it with the American dollar. And they were the leaders in, I mean, Russia's a huge oil country, and Kuwait, obviously, and all this other stuff. Hence, Desert Storm and all that stuff. But, so, Saudi said, yeah, that's how the American dollar became so powerful. Well, now look at it. It's done. It's crashed. It's tanked. It's not going to come back. Or do they want to go to the digital currency? Everybody's talking about a one world government. And then I'll talk about that. But, so anyways, everything is tanked now. Everything is tanked. It's never, and I tell Sarah, it's never going to come back. We will never, ever, ever, ever live America like we lived in the past. I can't guarantee that, but I would bet a lot of money on it. That's for sure. It's never going to come back. It will never come back. Never, ever, ever, ever. Because this is all pre-planned. It's their agenda. It's the narrative. And so, anyways, back to the Trump thing. So, you have all these other candidates drop out. Biden's the front runner. Trump would crush him. He would just totally annihilate him. We all know that. Biden knows that. Trump knows that. So you create this smokescreen. You get and of course they want to control us and everything. But that's another thing, like I told Sarah, and I've said in my other videos. What are we doing as a human race? What are we doing as a human race that they want to control us? It can't just be for control. Puppets on the string. Why? It's so much extra work and so much hassle and so much. It's just a lot of work, man. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And like I said, we're half of us are just animals. Like I said, if literally everything crashed and power was shut down and people could just run around and do whatever they wanted to, you would see the real animals come out of people. I've seen real animals. And it's horrible. But those are the kind of people that half of us are. Maybe more, maybe less. Who knows? But there's a good majority of people that are animals. So, why? Why would they want to control us? Why? What is the reason? It's like I said, it's so much extra work. We have to be doing something as a population, as a human race, for them to want to actually put in camps, do this, do that, do that. Why? Ask yourselves why. And it's not just for control, man. That just doesn't make. I don't think it just can't be for control. It just can't be. So ask yourself that, man. Why? What are we doing? So back to the Trump thing. So when I was talking to Sarah, and I was like, this just doesn't make any sense. You got this village idiot that is against, a Harvard professor, in essence. And so they create this smokescreen. They crash the economy, crash the petrodollar, do this, do that. Do you really think the people are going to re-elect Donald Trump? There's no way. no way he would be reelected. And if there were a chance that he were going to be reelected and they knew this, hence the mail-in ballots, they can manipulate them, right? But you can't. Joe Biden is a puppet. Everybody's got to know that. Who knows what's going on behind that curtain, right? So it's either one, he's a puppet, like, and I'm sure a lot of politicians are puppets. I'm sure. He's not the only one. It won't be the last. If there are, I've also heard that Trump's going to be the last president because of all this stuff, and it's going to come to an end and all this other stuff. And it could be, because the Antichrist is it's going to be a one world government. So is the village idiot? Is he just the patsy? Because all the other runners, they're like, these people are just too smart. They're not going to take this bait. But Joe Biden being as corrupt as he, and where's Hunter Biden at? Anybody know where Hunter Biden is? That's a great question. Where's Hunter Biden? Probably dead, probably buried somewhere. But so he's the only one that would have taken the bait. And like Sarah says, he's the only one that's disposable. Yeah, very true. So are they just using him as bait, and then all of a sudden he miraculously dies in a plane crash or a heart attack or commits suicide or whatever the case is, and then they put their real person in. And if anybody's watched The Simpsons and how The Simpsons, they say The Simpsons are the shows were like pre-programmed. Like you could see like one of the Simpsons episodes, they had Donald Trump as the president, they had this, they had that. There was a lot of stuff that the Simpsons episode, not a lot, but there were quite a few that basically predicted the future almost. Well, if you look at one of the Simpsons episodes, it's after Trump is president, and Lisa Simpson is playing the female president, saying, and this is really weird. Look it up, man. It's on. I believe it's on YouTube. Lisa Simpson says Donald Trump really left us in a financial bind or a financial predicament. They have a chart, and the little nerdy kid. I don't mean to say that. I'm sorry. The kid with the glasses. I don't know. I wasn't a big Simpsons watcher, but it was just very intriguing on the Simpsons episodes that were kind of predicted the future. And it shows Lisa Simpson as a female president talking about Donald Trump put us in a real financial bind. So that makes me think right there, and I'm not basing our lives on The Simpsons, but it's interesting. So look it up. And if that is the case, who would have thought Donald Trump would have been president and all this other stuff that they look up on YouTube, like Simpsons predictions, future predictions or something. I'm sure something will come. Pretty sure you'll see something on there. But look it up. It's pretty interesting. So that kind of tells me if it is true, who's going to be the female president? Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, because they could call in Elizabeth Warren who knows? But look for a female to be president. I don't think, there's no way they're going to leave Trump there. And if he is on the wagon with these people in the deep state and the New World Order because he has no choice or his family's going to be murdered in a horrific way, then he's not going to be in the picture, because he probably said if that were the case, hey, I got to get out of this and I'm not going to continue doing this. Just please let me out so I don't have to be blamed for everything. So it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. It's very exciting times to live in. Sarah says I'm crazy when I say that, but it's very exciting times to live in. So at the end of the day, man, you guys can call me. I'll start organizing. I'm already organizing with my brothers and sisters and stuff. So, but it can't just happen in one state. It's got to happen in every state, where you guys need, like I said in my other videos, a plan B today, a plan B. And you need to make sure, I mean, if you have a shotgun and you got an AR and they're just the baddest pieces of freaking firepower you can get, and you have very little rounds down range, which, if you don't know what that means, it means firing on. If you got very little rounds down range, you're not going to be much of a threat. They'll probably take that gun from you and kill you with it. So you guys have to just realize this is not going back. And they're not just going to come knock on your door. You know, you have to organize, people. You have to organize. I'm already organizing. I'm trying to help you guys. I'm trying to tell you that this is for real. You know, I won't bust out the channel, but, you know, they were laughing and joking about it, and oh yeah, I won't take the sign, I won't take the vaccinate. Once again, and just making jokes about this. And this is serious, man. This is. I know I sound like a horrible person when I say, but I would love to see the looks on those people's faces, them jokers that aren't taking this serious, but they're saying, "Oh, I won't take the vaccination." I would love to see them when they're sitting there with their freaking arm and they're like, "I can't believe I'm taking the vaccination," because you didn't take it serious. You're sitting there, and whatever the case is, I mean, I don't know if it's financial, whatever it is. If you're not prepared, get with somebody that is prepared. And if you're not prepared, then you're going to take the vaccination. I don't care how many times you say you're not going to take it, you're going to take it. Because you're going to be hungry. And if somebody's holding your daughter because you don't have a weapon and you didn't prepare, and they're holding your daughter and they're going to take her in a back room and do something real horrible to her, or to whoever, you're going to take that vaccination. Because you put yourself in a situation that happened. You allowed people to take control of you and your family because you weren't prepared. You took it as a joke, because all it rolled out of your mouth was, "I'm not taking the vaccination. I'm not taking the vaccination." Well, what's your plan on not taking the freaking vaccination? Don't put yourself in a situation to where you have to take the vaccination. I said that in one of my videos. Don't put yourself in a situation to take the vaccination. That's why security is important. You could have all the food and all the preparations in the world, but if you don't have security for it, you're going to get it taken from you. Or you're going to get killed because you fell asleep because it's only you and 3 or 4 other people trying to protect it. And you guys haven't pulled 24-hour guard duty 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it's cold, and you guys are out there flashing flashlights and building a big-ass fire. And you guys don't have your windows covered up. You guys didn't secure your doors or your windows. And then you guys are like, "Oh man, I'm tired, man. They're not going to come tonight." And then all you knuckleheads fell asleep. And then next thing you know, you don't wake up because you're dead and all your shit's gone. I really dread the fact that people sit there and roll it out of their mouth. Like it's going to be that easy. "Oh, I'm not going to take it." Yeah, they're going to come to you, they're going to ask you very polite, "Would you," in a silver fucking platter, they're going to say, "Would you please take this vaccination?" No, man. So like I said in my other video, don't put yourself in that situation, man. Have a plan, have security, have 20 or 30 people that you can get with. So you guys can do two people on guard duty at all times, 24 hours. Even when you guys are awake, you need 2 people watching everything that's going on, because somebody's going to sneak up behind you. And then boom, you're all dead. Period. God, I just don't understand people like that. You're going to need 2, if not more, people on guard duty all day long, every day for the rest of your lives. That's the fact. So, and you're going to have to do it probably in 2 or 3 hour increments. So, do the math. How many people are you going to need? You're not going to do it with 5 people. You're not even going to do it with 10 people. You got to have at least 20 people, man. You got to have at least 20 people. And 20 people that are very vigilant. And people that care about not dying. I just don't understand it. And then, just a little, people waving American flags in Lansing and, at the Capitol and all. Yeah, I get it, man. Be patriotic. But do something more. Let's get together. Let's start fucking putting the yellow vests on. Let's start telling them, no, you're not doing this to us. Because, and just like I tell my wife, when you show weakness, you will be taken advantage of. When you show weakness. If you don't show them that, and I know I'm talking out of the side of my mouth right now, but I don't see anybody else following. I don't see anybody saying, hey, Kurt, man, let's do this. Let's organize and let's do an exact time to go on every single state and every single capital in America all at the same time. Coordinated event. That shows them that we're organized. That we can just pop the time and say everybody moves at once and everybody's on their capitals. That shows organization. Just by a simple coordinated event in all the states. It's my wife calling me. Hi, baby. I love you. She'll know that when she sees the video. But my point being is if we were able to even get a couple hundred people at each capital around the country, every state, and march on every capital at the exact same time, all the states in the lower 48, obviously, or even in Alaska and Hawaii, who knows? If you were to do that, you would show them we're organized. And we're only going to get more organized from here. So, I'm just giving the idea. I don't have that many friends to where I can march on every state in the nation. So if you guys watch this video, share it. Like it, subscribe, thumbs up it. And share it to your friends. And call my number. Email me. Do something. Because, there's a young man in Minnesota that's doing like a petition or something. He's doing a petition or something with Wisconsin and Illinois, or Wisconsin and Minnesota, and hats off to him, man. That's awesome. But that's not going to do anything. There's like 100,000 people or something like that all. Dude, I could sign petitions all day long. I could join a group all day long because there's no effort. Just put in my email, put in my cell phone, and send it. There, I'm joining the group. I signed the petition. What does that do? It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. Nothing. They're laughing at us. They're saying, "Oh yeah, here goes another petition. Here goes another organization, Facebook organization. Do this. Social media is killing us. I love it, but it's killing us. I don't even go on Facebook. I got a lot of Facebook friends. I do have a lot of friends. So, you guys, do me a huge favor, please. Share it. Subscribe. Call me. Email me. Let's get it going, man. Let's start something before it's too late. Like, we literally have that window of opportunity is slowly closing. And we're going to have our fingers stuck in it when that bitch comes slamming down. And then what? Then what? What do you do? I mean, I'm not asking for a militia. Eventually, yeah, go ahead and start having these marches and start doing this and look at the Million Man March and look at all this stuff. Start making a point. Be somebody, man. I got a tattoo. My son did a couple tattoos on my calves. And one says, strive for magnificent, settle for significant. If we could be significant in our lives, that's a huge accomplishment. Always strive for magnificent. But if you can be significant, if we could be significant as a group, man, that would be absolutely amazing. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, they're coming after our First Amendment, our Second Amendment. Then do something. Let's organize. Call me. Let's set up some times. Let's do something. This is the beginning to something great if it could happen. I don't understand. I mean, America is a powerful nation, man. But because people think, oh, because we have guns, like we're something special, because we have a constitution that we can't even live. We can't even live by the Constitution right now. But everybody brags about the Constitution. Oh yeah, we got Constitution, man. You know, we got guns, man. We got freedom of speech. We got right to assembly. We got all these constitutional rights. They can't touch us. Yeah, okay, I can see that's going out the window. So same thing with truck drivers out here. Oh man, we could close down, and it is true. If all the truck drivers, and they did this in the 70s, all the truck drivers got together and they all shut down at the exact same time. All pulled over, dropped their keys, and there was a huge. They say that if trucks stopped rolling, this country would literally shut down, because there's manufactured area and there's agriculture in areas that obviously don't have it in others, so you have to truck it in. If the truck stopped running, this nation would die. Seriously. And I'm not trying to be, oh, good boy. No, I don't give a shit. I'm just saying it's a fact. Truck drivers are, oh yeah, man, we could shut this country down, man, if we all, turned off our truck. It ain't happening. I've talked to probably 100 truck drivers. Let's do something. Let's get, well, we got a petition. Screw a petition, man. These knuckleheads that drove on Washington, on DC a few months ago, and they made asses of themselves. Why? Because you go down the street honking your fucking yeah, fuck you. What is that? What does that mean? You have to show up in force, and you have to do it as an organized, timely event. And it's got to hit off everywhere in the nation. That's the only way that we're going to show them that we're organized. I've said that enough. Sorry. But it's very frustrating, man. It's so frustrating that people are just so easily talking about this. And I mean, I got a YouTube channel, man. I mean, I'm out there. You guys know my real name. I'm not lying to you. I know what I have. I just don't have 50,000 people that can go and do, so many people and march on, each capital all at the exact same time, wearing a certain color, so that they know we're organized. That's the beginning, man. So I'm sorry, I keep fucking reiterating myself, but I'm just frustrated, man. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating, and it's frustrating. So, anyways, please call me, and you guys call me. Just say, hey, man, what's the plan? Let's start talking about something. It all begins with a plan, with a talk, and then you plan. So call me, email me. All right. I hope this video finds you guys well. I really do. But remember, that window of opportunity closing very, very, very rapidly, and our fingers are going to get slammed in it. So, for what it's worth, right? So, anyways, I hope it finds you well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll do another video. Please leave some comments in the section, man. Ciao.